What's going on, fam? Hey, I'm back again. This is your boy Will, and welcome back to Practical Moments with Will, where we take real life, real faith, and we have no filter. So, let's get into it. Today, I want to talk to you about the subject something about loyalty feels heavier than people truly admit. Something about loyalty feels heavier than people really tend to admit. Okay? So, I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, as always, and I've been thinking a lot about loyalty lately. Okay? And I'm not talking about loyalty in the romantic kind of way, not in the movie scene kind of way when you cut the TV on and turn on the latest Hollywood situationships, because the truth is that loyalty really sounds good when it's on paper. It tends to look very strong, you know. It tends to be very noble. It presents itself as being faithful. But let's be honest, nobody really talks about the true cost of loyalty. You know, staying is very rarely dramatic. In fact, I would say that staying is quiet. You know, it wakes up choosing again and again. What does it choose, Will? I'm glad you asked. It continues to choose people. And it doesn't choose people because sometimes it's convenient, you know. It chooses commitments. Loyalty chooses constantly responsibility. And oftentimes these things are chosen even when it would be easier not to choose them. And after a while, let's be honest, family, that weight can add up, especially when loyalty isn't rewarded, it isn't noticed, and it isn't celebrated. And let's be honest, a lot of times it truly isn't. You don't typically get the applause for staying. You don't typically get the credit, so to speak, for long periods of endurance. Most of the time, people just assume, well, that's what you are supposed to do. In fact, some people may even say those words to you. And let's be honest, that assumption can certainly mess with you because it has messed with me in the past. Okay? So, because loyalty often requires sacrificing so many parts of yourself, the truth is that many times no one actually sees. They don't see the time that you spend, the energy, right? They don't they don't see all the options that you turn away to remain loyal. Sometimes they don't even see the clarity. And to be honest, my friends, that is the tricky part. Because when you're loyal long enough, you stop asking whether it's heavy. You really just start to normalize that weight until one day you wake up and you realize, you're tired in a way rest doesn't immediately fix your situation or your circumstance. And sometimes you don't even know how to explain why you feel the way that you feel, because technically you did the right thing. Now, I wanted to bring that up because I wanted to give you a little bit of hope or inspiration, you know. And if this resonates with you wherever you are today, I want you to hear this. The way you feel doesn't mean that you chose wrong. The weight that you may feel does not necessarily mean you chose wrong. In fact, it usually means that you chose faithfully, okay? Because loyalty isn't light because it's shallow, my friends. It's really heavy because it truly matters. And you're not weak for feeling the cost of your loyalty. What you are truly, in my opinion, is honest. And sometimes the most hopeful thing in simply naming the weight that you feel instead of pretending that it is not there is being honest. That's not complaining like some people may tell you. That's truly just wisdom. So, again, I have these things that come on my heart, and I want to share these little moments with you. Thank you for sharing some time with me, and I pray that your day is blessed. Take care, and talk to you soon. God bless.